live on a certain day outside of a slaughterhouse. So Mel, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what you've been seeing here today and what's going on?
Yeah, so we all project live stream. So today we have got around 20 to 25 activists around the world who are outside houses live streaming. So we've seen that with YouTube live streams, they're really popping at the moment. They get thousands of views, in fact, and you don't need a big channel. So it's been so optimal for the animals. We have seen so much for the animals at these places, and like today, we were at a chicken gas chamber, and the first thing we saw when we arrived was there was a chicken's head on the floor. So come into these places of absolute hell, you can expose things like that the public won't ever see. They won't see a little chicken's head on the floor, and then the worker comes over and just chucks their head into the big container like they're nothing. They won't see that. Round the corner here is a gas chamber. Now we can see that from the outside, so we're showing the public what happens to these beautiful animals because people are not vegan. So we understand that conditioning is heavy, right? Like in this world, we've been conditioned literally from birth, from books as you're a child, from adverts constantly happening all over the place. So a lot of people don't understand the realities behind your choices. So we're giving people transparency. But go live, you can't question this. You can't say this is vegan propaganda.
Reality.
This is literally happening in front of your face. So.
And this is happening behind the closed doors. So often we go about our day, we go to work, we come home, we make dinner, and we're not thinking about all of these places around the world where so many hundreds of thousands of individuals are being violently killed, having their entire existence away from them for nothing more than a single meal. So we're here at a slaughterhouse in the UK that are just joining, just to describe to you a little bit about what we're seeing and experiencing. I think the first thing that always hits me with these places is the smell.
Mm-hmm.
It is this fishy kind of
metallic-y. You can't actually explain it until you've smelt it. You won't understand, and it's so strong. And this is what we can smell from the outside, let alone the inside. Like, people got to understand that what is happening on the inside is a literal murder scene. It's blood, it's guts, it's containers of body parts, and it's terrible. And it's got to stop. This is why we're doing this. We're exposing this in real time. Mm-hmm. You can't question the truth. You can't question the truth. Another thing that I love about Project Livestream is that I think for any vegan who goes to slaughterhouse, when you see the animals for yourself, that fire that burns inside you will never burn out. Because I don't know about you, but I promise the animals every single time I see them that I'm never going to stop. I'm always there for them, no matter how hard it is, no matter how afraid I am or how upset I am, I'm always going to do it. And I think people had that set inside them, they'll just do so much more for the animals.
Mm-hmm. Even if you're not vegan and you're joining here, I recommend that you come and go see a slaughterhouse for yourself. They won't let you inside, of course, because they don't want you to see what's going on inside, but you can go outside and you can see the individuals that show up and just the that they show up. I mean, whether you're vegan or not, nothing about this is appetizing. And second of all, it's violent in every single way that you look at it. So the next truck is coming. I'm going to show you.
This is our own eyes.
When you see it with your own eyes, there are thousands and thousands of individuals on this truck. Babies, only 40 something days old. You can see many of them are missing feathers. They're scared. They're hungry. They're thirsty. They're in crates with friends that are dying themselves. So we're here to film and tell their story. So they're bringing the animals in now. For those of you that are just joining, we are here at a chicken slaughterhouse in the UK, and we are showing people the reality and the truth behind these products and what these animals have to go through in order to end up on our plates. And the truth is, they're all individuals. They are all sentient. They feel pain. We need to look at all the ways in which we are similar and ask ourselves, would we want this done to us before we say it's okay to do it to any other living being? It's very, very upsetting and emotional. We're both on live.
Exposing what happens to these poor individuals. I just want to say thank you so much for being part of today. I know that you flew in yesterday. Why are you here? Tell everybody why.
I think that we all should be here. This is the least that we can do, is to help tell their stories. These are just a few individuals who get seen. So many go into these doors unseen. And so I want to be to expose what's happening, to show people the conditions, to describe the smell, because I find that when we are, it makes it that much more real for people to experience it through us.
I completely agree with that. Yeah, and that's why sometimes we'll, when we go to farms, we'll be with the animals, like we'll show ourselves with the animals, because I think sometimes people can't always connect to the animals, but they can connect to the animals through us and seeing our emotion. I know that when I went to one of my first visuals, I was crying, and I saw that the slaughterhouse worker was crying too, and I was like, wow, like he knows that I'm upset, he's feeling my emotion. So yeah, thank you so much for being part of Project Livestream. She's also live streaming as well today, so definitely go and check out her channel and support her on her channel as well. The reason we're here is to keep eyes on the animals as we possibly can. So please help by liking and sharing and commenting. Sometimes if we miss a comment from the public, it helps if other activists are in the chat messaging away as well and explaining what we are here. So thank you so much for being part of this.
Yeah, absolutely. It really brings this to life. It brings the reality to the situation. And I think we all go about our day, you know, we meet with friends, we go to work, but we don't consider the animals. And so by being here, it shows us the urgency of the issue.
Yeah, so yeah, because they're seeing them go in now. Like the truck is there right now behind us with the chicken being weighed before they're going into a gas chamber. Like this is such an urgent issue, and it's something that you can stop immediately. A chance to remove himself.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you so much,
Let's
you
smash
guys.
this for the animals.
Thank you. So guys, Susan and Ellie are here with us, and it is their first time ever coming to a slaughterhouse vigil. So let's ask them kind of what they're experiencing, what they've seen, and how they're feeling about things. Susan, could I ask you a few questions? She's like, no, please don't.
I'm okay now.
So we have a chicken. You just had an explosion of emotions. Can you describe what you were feeling?
Yeah. I mean, I've actually seen things in firing crates, which I think that is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. This shocked me on a different level. It was that there were so many of them, and that they were practically dead anyway. They were blind. A lot of them were blind, and you could see they had no feathers on their backsides. They were almost dead anyway, and these are 6-week-old babies, and they're beautiful. And I just don't understand why humans want to do this. I'm sorry, I've done it again. I don't understand why we live in a society that does this. And then when you do outreach and people talk to you about humane slaughter, is this humane slaughter? Is this what humane slaughter is? And these are free range. These chickens are free range, and they're in an awful condition. So we're just told so many lies about welfare, and it just doesn't exist. And it was just such a shock to see. To just see these beautiful beings, and it's so unnecessary. We don't need to do this. We do not need to eat cheese. We've got so many other choices. I just don't understand why we'd want to do it.
I think it's also this helplessness too. It's like this is one truck amongst thousands.
We've seen several coming. The scale of it is unbelievable.
And
I've just been told that the lorry that you can see there, they don't take the chickens out of there. They're weighing them. They're weighing the truck to weigh how many chickens they are, because they're not going to take them out individually. And they die in those cages. They just go from there into the gas chamber and die in those cages. They're packed in. There's no space. There's no space of them.
Let's go show them the gas chamber.
Yeah.
So this is so fake. What about being here outside of a slaughterhouse is fake to you? We're live streaming. Like, we can't edit, change anything. This is exactly what is happening. Just to give you guys an image, like to picture the scale and scope of this, it's actually unimaginable, the numbers. It is estimated that about 280 million globally every single day are killed. And if you include sea animals, that brings the number somewhere between 200 and 600 billion animals.
Yeah. We kill more animals in 7 days than number of humans that ever existed. I don't know the facts, but this. I wish people would come. I wish non-vegans would come here and see this for themselves.
Yes.
I just cannot believe you joke about chicken nuggets or anything like that afterwards. I wish non-vegans would come here and see what
their way of dealing with the guilt. Honestly, I mean, like when you put things into perspective. If you abuse a dog, you're an animal abuser. If you abuse a chicken and kill a chicken, you are normal. And if you do, you're an extremist. This is the mindset that we live in. It's absolutely insane. Why would you not want to just live life where you cause the least amount of suffering?
Yeah. And people as well think that chickens don't matter. I talk to people who need chickens. They're not as sentient as pigs or cows. When you see them here, I think that's what really broke me. You see the being, you just see them as, beings with feelings, and you see the hope. You can actually see the hopelessness. And people do build relationships with chickens as well. When they, it's not just a chicken.
Absolutely, they have likes and dislikes. They feel pain, feel pleasure. And we take that all away from them for a meal that lasts like 10 minutes. And like your existence taken away for something so selfish and unnecessary. The point is that nowadays we can live a life that does not include animal products. You could be healthy. You could be happy, trust me. And you can eat foods that taste good, that give you nutrition, not a sacrifice. Veganism is a stance for justice. Veganism is the recognition that non-human animals like deserve moral consideration, and it's the realization that that their lives are more valuable than excuses that we make to continue hurting them. That's really it's giving all living beings autonomy.
And I would say the humans. I'm looking around at the humans here that are working here.
Show them.
They know why we're here, and they know what we feel, and consciously trying to say that they don't care. What lives do they have, doing this for a living?
They're desensitized to it.
It's wrong that we make human beings do these jobs as well.
Yeah.
It's bad for every living person on the planet. Yeah. And yes, it stinks here, and you feel the death. I can't explain it, can you? You just feel and smell energy. Death.
Nothing about being amazing. It's like they have to wrap up the body parts in such a way, put them in the supermarket, like then you have to cook it and add seasoning to it, and then suddenly you're so disconnected from that once living being that existed, and that people can eat it. Like, we all are closing our eyes to the suffering, to the truth, to the reality. Like, I don't see a lot of people here outside the slaughterhouse, do you?
No.
It's basically just us, and Mel and Steve and Ella. And there's a reason like non-vegans don't come to these places, because you knew damn well that if you expose yourself to the truth, you would have to change. Like we did. I allowed myself to get closer to the suffering, to see the reality. For sure it was uncomfortable. I didn't want to change. I enjoyed eating what I like to eat, wearing who I wanted to wear. Okay? So, but you know what? We have to look past our own selfish desires, our own selfish taste buds, and look at the victims behind our choices in every sense of the word. I want to go show them some of the gas chambers.
Yes.
You guys might notice that Susan and I are wearing species, and there's a reason for that. So speciesism, for people that don't know what that means, it's like any other ism. So like there's racism, there's sexism, and it's basically the idea that some lives matter less based on what you look like, or based on your religion, or based on a group, right? So speciesism is the idea that one species, here's another truck, that it's okay to do this to one species and love a species like we do with our dogs and cats. I am literally standing in front of a gas chamber. Gas chamber, you guys. And sentient beings, living beings, are being forced inside these. They actually burn alive from the inside out. That is what a gas chamber does, and it's considered the humane method. When we actually think about what the word humane means, it means to have compassion, to show benevolence. This is the definition of the word. Nothing about this shit is humane, compassionate, benevolent. Violent, it is cruel. We wouldn't want this done to us, and we certainly wouldn't want it done to an animal that we love. So that should say everything right there. If you would not take your dog or your cat to a slaughterhouse to be put down, that tells you everything right there about how humane these kind of places really are. So unnecessary, so cruel. I mean, just in like the 15 minutes that I've been here, I've already seen 3 trucks, and there's, I want to say, at least 1,000 birds on each truck. And this is just one slaughterhouse in the UK. So it's just the scale and scope of this issue is just unimaginable. Somebody wrote first world problems. Actually, this is a problem everywhere. Animals are being abused everywhere, and the reason that I choose to speak about animals is because nobody else is. You can support so many other issues while being vegan, while not eating animal products. Let that sink in. You can support multiple issues. Eating animals doesn't exclude. You cannot eat animals, and you could also support human rights issues, and also the root of all suffering. If slaughterhouses didn't, there will never be peace on this earth as long as slaughterhouses are still in existence. Peace starts on our plate. So I want to get to the root of the issue. Once we can learn to treat animals with kindness, we can surely be kinder to each other. Here's another truck coming in.
Going into the gas chamber now.
This truck is going into the gas chamber. Into a gas chamber. We are living in times where we are sending sentient beings in gas chambers. What is wrong with this? And people act like this is normal. This is fucking crazy. Like, I don't know whether to be angry. I don't know whether to cry and just break down. I don't know. It's like, it is just unfathomable once you make the connection with what is actually going on here. It's like you cannot see the world the same. And then there's still people on here trying to defend this. How are you defending an industry that profits billions of dollars at the expense of so many innocent little animals? What did these animals ever do to you that you are defending use when you can eat other things? For a second, just place yourself victim's perspective. For 1 second, how would you feel if you were on these trucks? Would you want somebody making the comments that some of you are making right now? Or would you want somebody to show you empathy, kindness, compassion? Be on the right side of history, people. What would you have been doing in times where women did not have the right to vote? What would you have been doing in times where human beings were enslaved? What would you have been doing in times of genocide? Well, usually the answer is what you are doing right now. So if you're on here and you're making fun of suffering, of beings who experience pain, who have feelings, who have intelligence, just completely deny and forget about, then shame on you. That right there is the answer to how you would have in any other social justice issue. Because the root of every single problem on this planet is that some lives matter less. That is the problem. And when you can you make this distinction between the way someone looks, the type of feathers they have, how many legs they have, when you make these distinctions and you pick and choose the victim based on what they look like, that's where the problems lie, because then that gives people the justification to abuse animals, to hurt them, to murder them with any living beings. So look, you can see right here, they're loading the crate into the gas. Into the gas chamber. That is what is happening right now. They are putting chickens in a gas chamber. And then they are going to package them in, they're going to skin them, remove their feathers and whatnot, and then package them on a supermarket shelf. These sick, dying animals, I mean, it smells so bad here. And then they're going to sell this to you. Come on. Let's fight against these industries together. It's 2025. There is just no need for this. We don't need to survive. This is not nature. Also, this is not natural. This is not necessary. These animals are genetically modified, bred into existence. They're short lives. I mean, imagine what these animals' lives were like. Think about it. These chickens are hatched in typically dark sheds, hatcheries. They don't see the day. And then they're put into these sheds where they are fattened up. Within a few weeks, they're sent to a slaughterhouse. That's their entire experience of life on planet Earth. That is hell on earth, if you ask me. That is on earth, is what's going on here. So Mel and Steve are also live. And we're trying out this YouTube live thing. I mean, I appreciate you guys being on here and I know it's not easy seeing this. I know it's definitely not easy being here, I'll tell you that. I will tell you that much. But we come to these places because we want to tell their stories. We want to show people the reality of the food industry. And quite honestly, these industries aren't going to do it themselves. They don't want you to see the truth of what goes on inside. They don't want you to connect with the animals because they care about profit. And they knew that if more of you actually knew what was going on, they would be losing money. They would be losing money. So if you're watching this and somehow this is affecting you, get active. Please speaking up. Please join local groups in your area, in your community. We need to use education. We need to form animal rescues, animal liberation. We can volunteer at sanctuaries. We can start going live on our own YouTube, making videos, starting a podcast. So many things. Legislation is also key. So please do something. Let's unite. Let's work together. I think we can all find common ground that we don't want to see others. And there is a solution here. There's a solution to this issue, which is to go vegan, to live a life that exploitation in every aspect that you can, to as far as is practically possible, to live in alignment with your values. That's the beauty of this, that you can align your values with your actions every single day. Every single day. You can make the world a kinder place, a more just place. The question becomes, what kind of world do we want to live in? Do we want to live in a world society that's gassing living beings in gas chambers, that's slitting throats for such an unnecessary purpose because we like the taste of their flesh? Or do we want to live in a world that values and respects all individual, no matter the shape, the size, the religion, the species? I think that one. That's the world that I... Because if I were the victim, I try to place myself in the victim's perspective and in the victim's position before I say it's okay to do something to someone. Right? So if I were in the victim's position or perspective, I would want somebody to speak up. I wouldn't want somebody to try to find better ways to exploit me or to hurt me. I certainly wouldn't want somebody putting a humane label on what's going on here. I think so insane and shows just how much we really devalue their lives that we actually call certain killing humane. That's insane. That is so crazy. So somebody commented, point of privilege. The only privilege here is that human beings think they're so superior that they take the lives away from innocent animals for a fucking meal that lasts 10 minutes. That is what superiority is here, okay? Vegans say, you know what? Their lives matter, and I'm going to do everything I can to not hurt them. I go as far as to say that we are all equal. What makes my life worth more than anybody else's life? You don't even have to see animals as equal to us to just recognize that we shouldn't hurt them, okay? Blank period. So to anybody that's just joining, anybody that's just here, we are at a slaughterhouse in the UK, a chicken slaughterhouse, and we are exposing some of the conditions and the reality behind what is going on here. I find it interesting that some people on here are laughing and think it's funny. I would just kind of ask you, what is funny about an animal suffering? If the slaughterhouse were filled with dogs or cats, would that be funny to you? So then what is the difference between those animals and these animals? In any way that matters, they feel pain, they suffer, they have likes, they have dislikes. So how do you justify hurting them when you have to? It says eat more chicken. There's already so many millions of today. How many more would you want to do this to? What have they ever done to you that you want to wish suffering upon them? I find that really concerning. I find that really just unbelievable that somebody would say that. Why cause harm? I hope that you are okay. I'm sure there's resources out there that you could check out. Therapy. Usually sociopaths or psychopaths are ones that are incapable of feeling empathy. So I would I'm concerned, honestly. You can see that they're lifting these birds in the crates, and then they're going to put them in a gas chamber. In a fucking gas chamber. In 2025. And in gas chambers, you guys, they don't just die right away. It's not like a little like serum that they like spread in there and then you breathe it in and then you fall asleep. It's not that. These animals are, they actually suffocate from the inside out. What drowning would be like for us, but it burns, apparently. I have had friends who have been inside of gas chambers that are not on, and they describe it like even just being in the residue of that gas, your eyes burn, like you can feel this thickness in the air, and it's very scary, and it takes them minutes to die. And so this is considered like one of the more humane methods, but it's like when you think about it, okay, we're either slitting their throats, we're either electrocuting them, we're either putting them in a gas chamber. It's like, I don't think any of these options are all that appealing. Like, let's not do them, I would say. $5 she goes to Wingstop for lunch. Alex, so actually I have not eaten animals for almost a decade. I've been vegan for going on 8 years, and I've never felt better. And it's just really a matter of aligning morals of kindness, of empathy with my actions. So my actions do not include purchasing animal flesh. And to be honest with you, being here outside of a slaughterhouse, the is so bad and so pungent, and I'm looking at these animals who are sick and diseased, who have snot and worms coming out of them, who are missing feathers. It's not really that appetizing to me personally. I would be curious how appetizing that sounds to you. Kind of concerning and gross. And also, guys, this issue extends to many other things. It's also a issue. Like, think about the people that have to work inside of these places all day long, that have to kill animals for a living. All day long. They're doing the dirty work for you. So Rosio said, I'm enough chicken for the both of us. I feel like it's just these people's way of experiencing or feeling guilt. Like, why would you want to cause more suffering? I mean, first and foremost, that's not how it works. Like, if you double the chicken, it doesn't make a difference. Like, government subsidies and tax dollars, you're not actually making much of a difference. But like, why would you want to hurt animals when you don't have to? Animals that aren't so different from you and me. The irony is that she's causing more chickens to be choked. So actually, chickens are being thrown into gas chambers here. They're not being choked, and I don't understand how being here would cause more animals to be choked. Instead, it's hopefully just spreading awareness to people online and people to see what's going on, so that hopefully you can make more informed choices going forward. Because I find that it's a shame that more people don't think about where their food comes from or know where their food comes from. Most people haven't even been to a slaughterhouse farm, a factory farm, or they haven't seen the reality behind these industries, because the commercials and everything that we see online, advertisements for these products, make them sound appetizing and make them sound like, oh, they're living in fields and then they just have one bad day. It's so far from the truth. And even if they did just life away from them when we don't have. Somebody says, Jamie, what do you think about, sorry, I missed the question. What do you feel about people like Asmongold and Turk? I believe the UK is so much more vegan than the USA. Don't you agree? I would say I'm definitely with the activism going on here in the UK and how many vegan options they are. I think that you guys are probably ahead of us, I would agree, for sure. I do want to introduce you guys to my friend Ellie, who this is her first time ever being at a slaughterhouse, and maybe she can describe the experience to you, Ellie. Just on live here. So Ellie, this is
Hi, everybody.
Hello. This is your first time being at a slaughterhouse vigil.
Exactly.
Describe what's going through your mind right now.
Devastating, just devastating. You can't imagine the conditions. If you are not here, if you don't see it live, if you just see it online, in a photo or in a video, you really can't imagine. First, the smell. When the truck comes with these thousands of individuals, living sentient beings, you look in their eyes, they are all desperate, hopeless, lifeless. They lost all hope. They don't even escape. They just know what's awaiting them because they are smelling death. They are smelling the death of thousands of their friends. And it's just really, really, yeah, I was speechless when I saw the first truck. All the energy, like all the pain of these thousands of animals came to you, into your body, and you really feel it. You have physical pain.
Absolutely.
Absolutely crazy.
Do you think that somebody says that it should be all, or is there a way to do this that like is less of this okay? Well, how would you answer that?
You know, we have to understand that there is no right way to do the wrong thing. So even if we do it less, it still matters to that individual. So even if we kill less animals, we kill them. And for that individual animal, it doesn't matter if you kill 10 or just one. It's same like with your life. If somebody says, I only kill you and I don't kill you, you will be like, okay, but why kill me? What is with my life? So I would say it is all or nothing. Because if you look at other injustices, it is always all or nothing. So you have to be consistent, and you have to say, you have to understand that animal objects, there are no resources. There are not for us to use them in any way, not a single one of them.
Look, here's another truck, but I'm asking you.
Another truck is coming.
Here's another truck of chickens going into gas chambers. So unnecessary, so cruel. For no reason. Babies, we're eating babies. We are eating babies. Oh my god, and the smell. Ugh. I'm literally gonna throw up. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You have to come here, you have to see it by yourself. If you are not vegan, you have to come here, you look them in the eyes, and you decide if this is worth your taste, if this is chicken wing or whatever.
So somebody says crying about chickens while killing and eating. How would you respond to that?
Well, this is a classic. This is a classic, and I think that this is a very important argument. Because, first of all, plants don't feel pain. Like, they have a nervous system. They don't have the pain receptors like we humans do or like animals do. So they don't feel the pain. And on the other hand, if we really care about the plants, then we need to stop eating animals, because the majority of the plants are fed to the animals, and then we feed the animals.
Yeah.
So if somebody is really caring about the plants,
Which I find it hard to believe. If you eat animals and don't care about animals, I have a hard time believing you really care about plants.
then you have to animals and eat the plants directly to avoid less harm.
So Elizabeth says the people in cages in the midst of genocide matter right now. What would you say to that?
I will not say what matter more. I will just say that is matter less. I will not say somebody is matter more or some issue is matter more, but nobody is matter less. And these animals, there are somebody, there are not something. So that's the root of speciesism. Think that another speciesism is less worth or more worth than another. That's the problem. So I will not that any issue is more important than another issue, but also the animals are not less important than any other issue and any other social injustice.
Thank you so much for saying that. And I'd be curious, Elizabeth, do you eat animals? Because you could also be vegan and support many other causes.
Right.
Like, you don't have to pick and choose. So I feel like you're just using that as an excuse as to why you eat animals, is to say, oh, well, there's other issues in the world that matter more, so I'm just going to continue staying comfortable in my ways and eat animals.
Just be morally consistent, because it doesn't affect the other issues. Like another issue won't stop no matter if you are not. So why choose to be cruel if you can fight against other issues and other injustices while not fighting in this one?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for saying that. Ellie, you're awesome. Go, yes. If you're not yet vegan, go vegan. Tell me.
I'm not going to say this one out loud, but I'll let just
Okay.
for tell.
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, how's it? Oh, awesome. 80 people. I mean, this is the power of live streaming.
Yeah.
You're at a slaughterhouse with 80 other people right now live, showing people realities.
Yeah, so what actually gave you the idea to start live streaming at these places in the first place?
Yeah, so it started like I was in bed and I was actually having a bit of a day where I was like, man, this needs to change so much. I was feeling a bit down. I was like, we need a tidal wave of change. And I just was like, oh my gosh, like if we live stream at slaughterhouses, because me and Steve started going to slaughterhouses a bit more, filming, doing like long form videos. We also started live streaming with our chickens in the garden vertically, and we saw that the views were doing really well. So we're like, let's go stream. And the first live stream we got at a slaughterhouse was like 500 people, and we were like, amazing,
Wow.
500, so good. Then the second one we did, we got 40,000 people in just a few hours. 40,000 people. And then I was like, we could create something here. What if we encouraged other people to do this as well? Because not only do you not need to know how to edit, you don't need to make a thumbnail if you don't have to, if you don't want to. All you need is a YouTube channel with 50 subscribers. So what we did, we created a group on Instagram that's got like 200 people in now. So when anyone wants to join, they can create a YouTube channel. We can put their channel in that group, get them 50 subs within that day. So they can go live straight away. And the reason we do Project Livestream is so people can go live at different slaughterhouses across the world, but it feels like we're all together. So we invite people onto our live, give them a briefing, they then go and do, and then do a debrief at the end. So I'm just looking because I think there's a truck.
There might be another truck. So Helen, I want to answer you because I do see your question. Show us more recipes. I would love to. I really will show you more recipes and more things that I like making. If you follow my Instagram, it's Jamie Logan. I try to show people. Oh my God, the babies. See, this is the why you should go vegan, and now we just got to show you the how to go vegan, right? So on my It's Jamie Logan page, I try to show people the how. So I'll post like different food eating or recipes, trying to post more of that. Skincare or makeup, like cruelty free, of course. And the It's Jamie's Corner page is more of like the why. And I think that when the why is strong enough, how you figure it out. You figure out the how. When I first went vegan, I was putting, like I was taking white bread and putting pasta like on it, so it wasn't exactly I wasn't make all sorts of things. Like, it's just a matter of taking what you already like and creating a version by substituting. So like if you like oatmeal, that's vegan, and you can just add like things, butter, fruit, nuts and seeds. Chia seeds are really healthy, high in omegas. You can make all sorts of Buddha bowls, and I really love like making a nice vegan pizza or a burrito. And if you're looking to hit, like Mel and Steve are bodybuilders, and so they're looking to like hit certain protein levels. So I think, I don't know exactly how much protein they get, but it's very possible to even be a bodybuilder on a plant-based diet. But their lives matter, and so we should not put our gains, our physique, or our taste buds in front of their lives. And somebody said, where do we get these hoodies? So this is a Speciesism hoodie. See?
Show the truth. They don't want you to see the truth.
Susan and I have them on. And so the Speciesism hoodie can be found on their website. If you look up speciesism.wtf, you can find them. They're really high quality too. Nice. I wear them all the time, and maybe some of you don't know what speciesism means. Explain what speciesism means? You're so good at it.
So speciesism is the discrimination of another being, of another sentient being, just because of a different species. That's why we people think we are more worth than animals. We make a line between, for example, if you think that your dog is more worth than a chicken, and you would never hurt a dog, or you would never eat a dog, but you have no problem doing that to a lamb or a cow or a pig, this is speciesism, and this is root of all evil. This is this is a social injustice, and it's same like racism, sexism, homophobia, tribalism. So it is just an injustice against a group that is different.
Absolutely. So this right here, Elizabeth, thank you for being on here, first of all, and for these comments. They're very informative. She says she's acting like factory farm, only way people get their meat. So this is a speciesist, sorry, but it is a speciesist comment because it's showing how little we value the lives of these animals versus other animals. So you, by that, saying, oh, well, if they're farmed in a way where they have space and they're able to be outside, then it's okay to take their lives at the end of the day. Like, that's kind of what this comment is saying. And what we're saying is, no matter what, killing them at the end of the day is wrong. So I think also when we place like animals that we love in these positions, circumstances, like we wouldn't be okay with like farming dogs and then killing them no matter how well they were treated, right? So but this is to say, it sounds like you are against factory farming, like as are we, and I would say to that, like, vast majority of animals in the food system, like over 90%, I think it's 99% in the US,
98 to 90%
in Europe
of meat comes from factory farming.
Right.
So if you think about the other ways, everybody is talking other ways. Everybody is talking about the nice organic local farm, but 98 to 99% food consumption of dairy, of eggs, of meat is factory farming. So everything that you buy in the supermarket is factory farming.
Right. So it's like we'll bring up like, oh, we all get our meat from local farm or from family farms. It's like everybody's saying that, yet everybody's eating meat. So it's it's impossible. Like, we actually cannot have a planet of meat eaters. We can't sustain it. And factory farming is actually in some ways more sustainable for the planet because you have so many animals into one place, and as opposed to using up all the land. But also this is to bring up the food we have to grow in order to feed animals. So we could solve world hunger if we just if we just considered like how many resources are going into raising animals, killing animals, just because we like the taste of their flesh, when instead we could be using some of that land that we're growing to use crops for animals to instead grow crops suitable for humans and feed more people, because you need less land to grow plants. So we could solve world hunger.
And just a small add on to speciesism. Get rid of that species mindset, then you understand that every life matters. Every life of a sentient individual matters. You know, everybody has a local farm. Every farm is local to someone. Every farm is in the neighborhood of one, but it doesn't justify what we do to the animals. So when you get rid of your species mindset that is deeply, deeply rooted, and it's hard to get rid of that mindset, but once you understand that we cannot discriminate another being just because of a species, then going vegan is the logical consequence, the logical next step.
Yeah, I believe that we're all vegan at heart, and I just believe we're very deeply conditioned. Like, from a very young age, we're told we eat these animals, and so when you're raised, especially culturally speaking, eating animals, and you have these traditional dishes, everybody around you's doing it, and it's very normalized, it can sometimes be hard for people to think outside of that and to step back and to question it. So that's why we're here, and we are on live outside of a chicken slaughterhouse in the UK, and we are showing people what is going on in the food system.
To get gas.
And you can hear their little chicks. I mean, they're so innocent and so cute, and they would show you kindness. They would show you love. You know, some chickens actually purr, and they're so sweet. I wish that more people got a chance to connect with them, just seeing them it's just so unnecessary nowadays. It's like, don't want to be part of change, lead them to not just follow what everybody else is doing. Here's Steve.
How you doing?
Steve,
how's it going?
Thank you for hosting this event.
Oh, thank you for being here.
We're on live with everybody. So Steve,
Amazing, you got loads in here. It's great.
yeah, there's so many great people and comments on here. Thank you guys for being on here. Why don't you just talk a little bit about what you've been seeing here and why we're here?
Yeah, sure. So we're here today. This is a gas chamber in the UK. I'm sure you've already been told. We're coming here because we're trying to connect the person in the middle. There's loads of people who are non-vegan, but they don't understand the realities of their choices. So by coming here and filming the animals, we're connecting them with the individuals because they're conditioned. The industries have lied to them so much that they're so cognitive dissonances in there, they're so conditioned, they don't understand the violence they're paying for when they're in supermarkets. So by coming to slaughterhouses and showing them the victims, it gives them the opportunity to then be educated. Our job as animal rights activists isn't to try and lie to the consumer like the industry does.
Right.
We just have to show them the truth. We don't need to big our side of the story up. We just say, did you know that the chickens you're eating were... 10 people were like, no way, I did not understand, I didn't know. And then they change, and this is here. We need people to change.
What would you say to somebody that says we're a little over the top about it all, and people online vegans because of this?
I'd say if you were the victim, would that be your position still? You know, because for them it's like too late. Like, save these animals going in here today. We're here today for the animals of tomorrow. Like, we can't save them. And it's so easy to say, oh, too extreme, vegans push the boundaries too much, preachy vegans, militant vegans. But if you were the victim, you would be, and trust me, you would be begging for people to be here, filming you, helping you, maybe liberating you, doing all that they can for you. Because you're in the oppressor's position, it's so easy to look and say, these vegans are making me feel too guilty, they're making me feel bad, and you shouldn't be making me bad because I don't want to change. So that sort of argument is just a sign that you do have empathy in there because you're feeling bad. Then my question to you is, why are you fighting that empathy? I always am so surprised when people are met with the truth, why they try so hard to come up with an excuse and justification to continue. Like, just let it go. Like, you've seen the truth, you've seen the individuals for your... Why are you finding it so hard? Like, when they see like this, like here, like these babies going in, this is it. But when they see these babies going in and then they say, yeah, but you drive a car, and you think, where are you going with this now? Like, I drive a car, so I have tires on my car, therefore we should gas 5,000 chickens per truck, you know?
What the hell?
Flawed logic. It
absolutely is. And we're really not, she said, is that absolutely nothing to feel guilty about. Well, if you eat animals, you are responsible for the torture and death of sentient beings. I mean, that consider about how our actions impact others in every sense of that word. These other these others that we're talking about feel pain. They feel suffering. They also feel happiness. And who are we to take that away from them when we can eat other things?
100%. I always think if you're a human, if you're a human who knows the truth and you see the truth, and then you don't feel guilty, I'd be so concerned about your lack of empathy and your lack of compassion as a human being. Because if you can see what actually happens, if you actually can see the truth and you don't look away and you fully understand, and then you say, I don't feel bad for this, your lack of empathy is seriously worrying. It would concern me. You know, it would be so sad to think of a human who has that, you know, such a lack of compassion.
Absolutely. And come on, guys, don't you want a great leader and great thinker thought outside the box? They went against the social norm during their time, and they created change for the better. When you look at, even here we're talking a little bit about scripture, when you look at Jesus Christ, he was somebody that defended animals. He stuck up for animals and would not be okay with what is happening in here. And I think, you could ask, what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do in today's times? Would Jesus be okay with gassing animals to death with chambers? Would Jesus be okay shoving animals into these tiny crates and condemning them and confining them to this suffering? How would Jesus kill an animal, really? Think about it.
Yeah.
When we think of all the great leaders in history, Gandhi, when we look at MLK, They led with love. Martin Luther King Jr. said, love, because hate is just too great of a burden to bear. And so this is choosing love. Is love. It's putting kindness into action. How can you argue that? We're here with you. We want to resources, you guys, to help you make the change like we did at one point.
Yeah.
This is not to, you know, we are on the same team here. We should partner up and fight against the industries together to create bigger change, to leave the world better than how we found it.
Good people have been lied to pay for the most horrendous unknowingly. So, you know, just educate yourself and then align your actions and your ethics. And the simple step is again.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, if Jesus was here right now, would he be stood inside the slaughterhouse pressing go on the gas chamber, or would he be stood with you? Stop this madness, stop this crazy atrocity that's happening behind me here. And all of the names that you mentioned before, who did and who were sort of held accountable in their time, Martin Luther King, all these people, they're now praised, who paved the way and set the standard for kindness, empathy and compassion. We look back now in embarrassment of the way that we treated them pioneers, and we'll do the same with animal rights activists. People in years will look back and say, yeah, you know what, them guys were wrong. Places will be museums. People will come here for school trips and it'll be a museum.
Yeah.
And the little kids will say, they did what to animals? Mum, they where?
Right.
It's crazy. Just go vegan, people.
People want to, you know, everybody wants to change the world, but they can't even change what they eat for. So let's start there. You know what I mean? These workers won't even talk to us.
Bright blue eyes, their combs haven't even fully grown yet. They're that young.
They're killing babies. They're literally killing babies. Like, you have to be so desensitized to do what you're doing to these
To just be doing
poor innocent animals. So I got about a minute left on here. I really appreciate you guys coming on the live, for interacting. Even if you don't agree yet, at least you're here with us, and I do appreciate you. And together we make this world a lot kinder, a lot better place, because I think peace starts on our plates. And he said it's not about what issue matters more. It's that this issue doesn't matter any less. And that as there are slaughterhouses, there will never be peace on this planet. So please, guys, go vegan. The change starts with us. And you guys give me hope. So thank you. It's not easy being here, but we do it for the animals and to expose the conditions, for you to be a part of this as well, for you to see the truth. Because if we don't show you the truth, the industry certainly won't show you the truth. So thank you again so very much. Love to you all, and thank you. And at every meal, you could sit down and you could ask, do I want to be part of a system that hurts animals, or do I want to be part of the solution and part of the change that creates a kinder world for all living beings? So, you have a great rest of your day, everyone. Bye.